Hi, Ivan. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. All good.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure to have you here. I'm very excited to have you, and we already had a little bit conversation just before the video, but I think it will be very useful for me and also for the people who will watch the video. So, how are you? How are you spending the days?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, obviously, since Roger retired, things kind of changed a bit, even though, honestly, what was it, 13, 14 months before the announcement were slow in a way. We were waiting and hoping that things will get where we wanted. But unfortunately, now everybody knows what the conclusion is.
Yeah.
No, it's been good. It's been more quiet for me, obviously on the personal level, also with my family. With Roger again, of course I didn't travel the last 12 months, but you always need to be on standby, available. You never know. So now I kind of have my time back in my hands,
Yeah.
so I can plan my schedule freely, and I just decided to kind of take time between now and end of the year to decide and see how 2023 will look like.
Yes. When I was doing obviously, I know how the times you were playing and also with Milos and also after Roger, but I look back even earlier years of your career, and I just want to give you highlights from it so people can have more details about you. So you were born in Bosnia, and there was a war, unfortunately, that time, and moved to Croatia. Also, I work with Goran. Maybe you know Pirpic. He's older
Yes,
than
of
you,
course.
right?
Well, yes, he was the Davis Cup captain when he was the first Davis Cup captain who put me to play for Davis Cup. So
Ah,
yes, he's yeah, yeah. I remember watching him actually in 1990. He won the ATP Numag, and I was 11 years old. So he was, of course, with other Goran. There were two
yeah,
big idols that we had.
yeah, yeah. And then you went to Italy for training early junior years, and then you were number two as a junior. And then obviously you were number three in ATP, and you played at the high level for a long time. You have 10 ATP single titles, and you had to stop at 2012. My first question will be about your retirement period, since also your player just retired now. I wanted to hear from you. But on the other side, once you stop, you directly got into manager part and also coaching part. You were a manager of Thomas Berdic in that time, and then you were with Milos. And after that, obviously, Roger Federer. But on the side, you are, like you said just before the video, you are doing a lot of things, which is very exciting to see for me at this time of my life. You have an academy in Croatia. You have also management company, and also you were on tour coaching. So yeah, that was a long entrance. Sorry. So I want to start with the question of your retirement years, since it's also Roger's retirement year now. How was it for you after playing for very long time?
Well, I mean, it was busy right away. I mean, I was incredibly lucky, I guess, in a way that the day I retired, I got the job offer right away. It was actually TV commentating for Italian Sky, which I still today I do sometimes, and I enjoy immensely. It's something that I didn't know I would enjoy, honestly. So that was 2012 April. I did Wimbledon for Sky, and I realized I enjoyed it. And this is one thing, once after the retirement, you don't really know what suits you. You kind of you play, you're always you have things under control. It's in
Yeah.
your power. Once you retire, you have to wait for offers. You have to kind of maybe, make a move first and wait. I mean, it's definitely trickier. I mean, I was lucky enough that I really got a lot of opportunities. and I did quite a lot, honestly. Last 10 years, it was busy. It still is in a way, but it for me was kind of. I mean, I don't want to. I want to make sure it sounds right, but I decided to kind of do a lot. I felt like my retirement was. I decided to retire. Right, I was ready to kind of do something else. I was not injured, but I had some ankle pains. My cartilage in my ankles bothered me, so I couldn't really do what I wanted. My level of tennis kind of dropped. I was still top 50, top 40. I don't even remember the ranking. So the level was okay, but I was a top player. So I got a second child. It kind of everything together came, and I just said, you know what, I'm ready to, to kind of look what's next.
Mm-hmm.
And I jumped into things, just to kind of try and see, what works, what doesn't work. And this is one thing that I wanted to make sure that I knew that not everything will work. And this is one thing that I think that I would maybe give a suggestion to players who retire. Just try things. It's not going to work. Not everything will. It's okay. It's not a failure. It's a learning process, right? So unless you try, you don't really know. And even if you try, if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that the next time will not try. Will not. It's a learning process. Yeah. Because like as a player, you're not going to win tournament first one you play, right? So it is starting maybe not from zero, not from scratch, but it is a business world. It is something else. It is different, and we as a tennis players, we don't know the kind of the basics or the structures and things like this. So one of the most important things, I guess, is to really surround yourself with the quality people, right? With the people that are good at what you want to do, and listen and try to learn as fast as you can, and kind of just go. It's okay also not to be successful. It's okay to fail in a way in something, but then you just keep going. Don't stop. Don't get depressed. Don't and so it was quite busy. As you said, I did the management, I did the coaching, academy. It's something fairly recent, only a year and a half now. Mm-hmm. So I try to open doors to see what works, what doesn't. Sometimes, obviously, it feels a lot. It feels like I should have not done all, so much. But in a way, the people allow you to kind of do different things. The people that work for you or with you, or I don't know. We don't know each other so well, but I'm not a boss. I'm not kind of a very dictatorship kind of tough guy. I allow people to kind of do what they think is the best. I just put them in a position and help them to develop whatever their role is. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's kind of the way I like to do things.
Yeah, in Antalya, maybe you remember, I saw you there. You came to see the place, or you came there with the federation, and I remember I was very impressed, and it was a good moment for me to see someone like you at the high level, to have that I always mix this word. I did it in other videos too. Humility, like humble, meaning humble. Yeah,
humble. Yeah, okay.
I was impressed by that. So I still, you have this academy in once I jump to Antalya situation, I want to ask the question about the Turkish Federation part. You came there to see some federation person, I guess. And yes. How was it? Like, what was the plans, or did you plan to do something, or was it just the beginning?
Yeah, but it was more kind of informational meetings. I mean, it's not a secret. I love Turkey. For no particular reason. I just once I came first, I just fall in love with the place. I really love it. I mean, I'm being born in Bosnia, and also kind of I feel the same vibe. I feel the same atmosphere. I feel very comfortable, honestly. So I was intrigued. I was interested in seeing, what tennis looks like in Turkey. So I met a lot of people, and we had some good conversations and some good ideas. It was maybe also not the right time. So no, I mean, in the end, nothing really happened. I mean, honestly, I had a project going on, but the COVID hit, so that didn't help as well. So I felt like the momentum was building up, but then unfortunately, like the whole world kind of stopped functioning. And so not much happened. But I'm not saying that it's not going to happen in the future. I really have, and not because I'm talking to whoever I talk to. I speak about Turkey and how this place kind of touched me.
And what was your impression that time about Turkish tennis?
No, my impression was that a lot of good things. I feel right. A lot of good things are being done until a certain age, right? Until I would say. They have good juniors, you have good kids, you have always good results at a very young age. But then the results at the professional level don't match the results at the junior level. So there's probably, I mean, I haven't really went too deep into the problematic of it. I had some interesting meetings, and it felt to me that the school is something that can be done better or different in order to help kids for that in that period. But there is, which is always the difficult part, the tough part, this link between juniors and the pro level. And I honestly feel more maybe than anything, it's really belief in the players that they can actually do it, because nobody really has done it in the past. I mean, when I say done it, I mean, top 20, top 10, like I'm talking about really high levels. It takes somebody special, I would say, right, to kind of do it for the first time, and then I feel like the others will follow. This is what has been done in many countries, in many places. I work with Zhang Zhizhen, who is the Chinese player, first Chinese player in the top 100 in history. So when he started to make those moves, you could feel like others are following, right? Again, obviously in China, they also had COVID problems. They still have it. So it's not easy, but I'm just saying, I feel like in Turkey, it's missing that first girl or a boy who is actually going to make a real move, and then others will realize, oh, actually it can be done, and follow. And I think this could be hopefully in the next couple of years something that will happen.
And to make that first girl or boy come up, how does it work? Like, how do you bring up the player? Because I know you take the players all around, like management, coaching, tennis, fitness, everything. So you are one of the best to know this, and you work with the best.
Well, I can tell you that the system doesn't exist. There is no one way that fits everybody. It's really getting to know player, getting to know the parents, which is very important, and understand the character of the person, to understand does he or she needs one-on-one coaching, or better maybe in the group, or does he or she needs to move away from home, which usually mostly is the case, to kind of keep the focus and stay on the goal. Have some international experience. That does she or he needs, it's very complex, right? I don't believe in a way of working that this is how it's done, fit in the structure, and I don't believe in that. I think individual sport like tennis, for to do something special, you need a customized approach, and for that you need people who know the player in order to help the best. So I mean, now you're gonna have players in your hand, and you will understand what I talk about, where it's not important only what you say, but when you say it, how you say it. It's very, very complex, this connection between the coach and the player. And I think the coach is usually, I mean, it has to be the leader of this project, let's call it, right? And obviously the good coach is very important, and then coach connects to the fitness, the physio, the doctor, the federator. There has to be one person who kind of guides and is responsible for a player. And then you go from there. I mean, it's but then you need to have obviously trust from the parents, from the player needs to kind of let go. and trust completely the guidance. And then, this I'm talking about age of 14, 15, 16 up until 19, 20. And then when the player becomes professional, then the player itself becomes so-called the CEO of the company, right?
Yeah. It's very I remember after 20s you kind of want to say something, like about
Yes,
the
but then
plan,
that's where it becomes tricky, right? When the player should the coach should let go a little bit.
yeah.
Still at 20, player doesn't really know usually he knows what he doesn't want, or but it is very tricky moment where that's where the key is, right? When how to let go, because player needs to feel I can do it.
Yes.
But the coach at the same time sometimes should also make mistakes.
Yeah.
But sometimes should also make sure it does. That's why, you see, it's very complex. It doesn't really work like, okay, this way or no way. And then this just doesn't work.
Yeah, true. I have 3 10-year-old girls now. They're all different character. Their families, obviously different cultures, different characters. So it's very psychological. That's how I feel. Like more than tennis, it's more about communication and that trust,
Yes.
like you say. So yeah.
Yeah, but at this age, it's interesting because you can build the mentality, you can build the characters, right? Because later, if you get a player who is an 18, 20, whatever, it's much harder. But at this young age, you can start building really from the beginning, and it's very interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, you see like their progress every day, like you say something today and the next day they are able to do it. So yeah, it's very exciting to see. So after these early ages, how does it feel to have someone who has been already at the top for many years, who is one of the best at all time? What is that motivation for you to have someone like this?
Well, obviously at the beginning was incredible. It was one of the happiest moments or proudest moments when he just asked me to coach him. It was a big honor, right? Just to think that he thinks that I can help him to be better or to achieve things that he cannot without me. And it was a very, fantastic moment. But then, of course, you have to actually prove that he was right and that you actually can make a difference. And then it was a beautiful journey. Honestly, fantastic. Roger is an incredible person to start with. He always makes sure that people around him feel comfortable and that we have everything we need in order to help him. So it's been fantastic. Obviously now I'm sorry that it's finished. I'm sorry that I was not there earlier. But it was an amazing ride, and we had some success, some obviously tough defeats, like it always is like this. But it was beautiful, absolutely.
Yeah, and what was your motivation when he first asked you? What did you think you could give him as a coach?
Yeah, well, we were friends, close friends, even before I started to coach him. So we would casually talk about tennis, talk about certain opponents, talk about tactics, talk about, so he kind of knew my way of working, or not working, but how I see tennis or how I see his tennis. So we talked about it, so it was no need to kind of have, okay, let's have a test period and then we see how it goes. We kind of knew what to expect, or he knew what he could expect from me. So I did not expect to have this job. So I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for it, because he asked me at the London finals, which is end of November, and 10 days later I was in Dubai working. So for me, although obviously I've seen, I'm not saying 1,000, but close to 1,000 of his matches, so I knew who he is as a player. I knew who he was or who he is as a person. So I had kind of clear idea what I think he should be doing. But then I had to discuss with him, and so my idea was aggressive tennis, not too aggressive at the same time. His net game is good, but maybe not. I feel like, running to the net too much. Could have, it's not ideal. But again, the slice is good in certain moments, but not always, because then you defend too much, you have to run. So really small details. Obviously, I mean, we talk about the player like Roger, you cannot come in and revolutionize his game, but it's just give him also confidence. I had to make sure, or I wanted to give him trust that he can win slam, that he is the best, and he felt this, I'm sure. So it was definitely the work on details.
No, it's amazing to have these details. I remember maybe it was the time when you started working, he was really taking these returns early. Was it with you? Like there were a few times in matches.
No. It was before.
It was before? Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
because 7 years, when I think it was not too far, but maybe it's
no. It was before the saber. That was he still did few when I worked with him, but then he stopped. It was crazy. That's Roger. That's kind of shows you how open-minded he is, right? That he would even consider something crazy like this. He's just it's just amazing and the way he was doing it. It's just the quality of, I mean, how difficult that is. I mean, I haven't even tried it because you are afraid to get the ball in your face, and he would actually, make approach out of it. It's just crazy.
I saw in one of your interviews, you said he was very open to learn, and also you said there were times when I had nothing to say. It was just perfect.
There were really crazy moments, and I think I might even mention to him, during practice, like after 30 minutes, and just I told him, listen, I just feel stupid because I know I'm supposed to say something, but there's really nothing to say. Just keep doing what you're doing, So it's crazy, But then again, it's not about you mentioned that he's ready to learn. It's not about learning. Obviously, he knows more tennis than I do, but it's a lot of work. It's reminding him of certain details or certain moments, or seeing from the different perspective, and just kind of give him different angle to look at things, so that he has always been open to, and just try different things and see what keep it exciting, because to keep repeating the same exercise or same things, it doesn't match his personality. It would bore him, and it would not be effective, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I want to just finish with some personal questions about you. You have mentioned you have 2 kids, and your son, 14 years old, right? He's playing tennis.
Yes.
How is it as a parent to have someone in your family, tennis player?
Tough, and I cannot coach him. I realize that, and this is maybe a message to the parents as well. I realize that I'm not objective when he's on the court, and so I just decided that I play with him when he has nobody to play with. Obviously, I sometimes I talk to his coaches, and when I see something, but I try to stay away from the tennis court, because I realize that as I said, I'm not objective, and I cannot. I get very emotional, so it's hard. It's just difficult, and I see that it's not productive for him, right? So I realize that he's much better when he kind of plays for himself, because he's obviously very proud of his dad and the things that I'm still his idol, but he wants always to impress me, and he wants to show me. And when it's like this, although it feels great, but it's not ideal for him, and I know it cannot last for too long. So I try to relax him, and I try. Obviously, he puts the pressure on himself. So I try not to push. So basically, I'm trying to be a parent, to give him a support, any support that I can, to be his driver, to be his, whatever he might need on daily basis. But at the same time, I keep reminding him it's his career, it's his life. Whatever he wants to do, I'll be there for him. But, I cannot do, and I will not do things for him.
Yeah. And who is his coach? Is he someone you know? Or?
Well, we are living in Monaco, as you see. This is Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Yeah.
So he's a part of Monaco Federation team,
Mhm.
and so there are coaches who are working with him, and there is not one coach.
Yeah.
There are a couple guys that are helping him, and
Mhm.
obviously when there is a school vacation or school break, then we spend time in the academy, which is in Croatia. So he
Yeah.
also does that.
Okay. I think it's important because in Turkey, obviously we need to first educate the parents, so that's important. How their
But
distance.
it's not easy. That's probably the toughest. That's probably the hardest part. The parents are super important, especially at the young age. As the kids grow up, the parents should kind of let go, but it's not easy. And this is obviously the hardest part.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. So
Sure.
what are your plans now? Or are we gonna see you more on tour, or what is it?
Today, I mean, tomorrow can be different. Today it doesn't look like. At the moment, I have couple interesting ideas, projects. I don't know yet. I honestly don't know, and I'm not trying to hide or not say. I really don't know. I have some interesting offers, and I had some players calling that I didn't feel it was the right fit. So I don't know. Maybe if there is any change, I'll reach out and I'll let you know. At the moment, I'm enjoying my time home, and it's all good.
Okay, well, Ivan, thank you so much. It's a big pleasure for me to have you.
No problem. Thank you for having me, and I hope to see you. Hope to see you soon.
Yes, I really hope so too. So take care and have a good rest till end of the year.
Thank you. Bye.